We recently met up at Aberfoyle for a wee group gravel ride, taking in 6 of the local lochs on our route. This is a video of our day. Hope you enjoy it. With a healthy turnout of 13 of us who set out from Aberfoyle car park and set off up the Duke's Pass road. After about half a mile on the road, we turned off into the northern section of the Queen Elizabeth Forest and headed for the Three Lochs drive road.
Got a lot of bikes coming behind you, mate. Thank you. Thank you.
It was nice to see that the bridge over the river had now been replaced, which meant that our feet would initially stay dry. Our route for the day was up the Duke's Pass, over to Loch a wee scran at Lochs and back via Lochs. It wasn't to be a particularly long one, but it would be quite lumpy. It's quite a rude start to this ride as you climb around 770 feet in 2.7 miles.
Alright, was it you coming with your mate? They'll be screaming later.
It was a muggy type day and we weren't long heating up in the climb, so much so that quite a few of the lads removed and packed away a layer halfway up. We were treated to the smell of a few freshly cut log piles, which for me has to be right up there with coffee. As we crested, I set off for the Three Lochs road to get in front of the lads and get the drone up. Unfortunately, it was perfect midgy weather and a few of them targeted me for breakfast as I waited for the lads to start their descent towards Lochs. If you're enjoying this video, please consider giving it a like, drop me a comment and subscribing to the channel, which is free. That way you'll be advised anytime I post a video and won't miss any future invites. I'd like to thank everybody who's done so as I hit the 1800 subscribers mark this week, so a huge thanks to everyone. If you'd like to follow any of these routes, you can pick up the GPX files by following me on Strava at Douglas Gilligan RACC or on Komoot at Specialised Doug. If anyone watching this has a gravel route they think we'd enjoy and which they'd like to lead us round, please drop me a comment in this video and we can discuss it. We're always keen to explore a new neck of the woods and all suggestions are welcome. I know that a couple of our regulars are working on new routes at the moment and hopefully we'll be sampling one of them next week.
It would put you right off, wouldn't it? Look at that. Stunning. Loch number 2.
This wee single track section is always great fun, and whilst damp on the day it was still pretty firm after the prolonged dry spell. This pops you out onto the road which drops down towards Lochs. Many thanks again to my super talented musical friends Cammy Gray, Tim Rowe and Colin Mackenzie for providing me with the backing track music here. It really is most appreciated. Despite my preamble about not going off the front if you don't know the route, we lost Bill at this point. He said he'd just got into a wee rhythm and missed the turn. I phoned him and he said he'd catch us up either on the way to or at the cafe at Lochs. When we arrived at Loch there were isolated patches of mist drifting above the loch in front of the hillside, which really added to the atmospheric feeling of the morning. Here's a wee interesting fact for you. Loch supplies a staggering 230 million litres of water daily to Glasgow via a 26-mile aqueduct. This year is the 125th anniversary of the Sir Walter Scott steamship sailing on Loch. It's very popular for people to take the boat from the Trossachs Pier up to Lochs and enjoy a coffee in the Pier Cafe before cycling back on the cycle path. I'm sure that'd be well worth doing, but personally I prefer cycling this in the southeast to northwest direction, as I think the views are prettier that way.
That last bit was quite overgrown, wasn't it?
A lovely dry spell of weather during May has been well and truly doused, as evident by the waterfall off to the right here, which was fairly gushing off the hill. Chris and I managed to rejoin the lads just at this single track section which skirts and rolls along the banks of the loch. We didn't know this was here and used to cycle right past it until Malky Walker took us down it one day. It's a lovely wee trail when the brambles don't get you, and it actually cuts out a climb. The cycle path on the north shore of Loch is in excellent condition and it's a fantastically smooth surface. It is quite rolly with some fairly steepish inclines, but it does afford beautiful views over towards Lochs on the south shore the further you go up the loch. Graham overtook Cham and I in the climb here and pulled off what could maybe be described as a reverse Madison.
Your brakes rubbing again, Tam.
As we approached the turn at the northernmost tip of the loch, the clouds were beginning to darken a little ominously, but the hills were looking broodingly majestic. I'd booked a table for lunch at the Pier Cafe for 12:45 and I thought it might be a little tight for us to make it. Cammy and Paul got on the front as we turned down the loch, so we tucked in behind and made good progress towards making our table time. We arrived at bang on 12:45. Happy days. We had been fairly lucky with the weather before lunch, but the forecast was for it to deteriorate by early afternoon, and it started to come in as we finished lunch. We set off after lunch. Good group out today. 13. Trying to get the legs to go again. Lochs here in the background. Just about to climb up the wee single track section up and over the hill. Wakey wakey legs. Every day's a school day, and one of today's lessons was that my jacket is showerproof but not monsoon proof. We ended up with a healthy 11.7 mile an hour average, which was a little faster than the advertised relaxed pace. The quote of the day for me was from Chris, who suggested that the post-lunch section was wetter than an otter's pocket.
Beautiful.
Thanks to everyone who turned up for the ride given the forecast, and hope to see you all again soon. We had a few very impressive debut performances from Kevin, Paul and Edgar, and it was nice to see JC back out with us after a prolonged absence. When the rain came on very heavy, it ended up washing some sweat into my eyes. I have to warn any viewers of a nervous disposition, you may find this next section of footage a little bit upsetting. This has happened to me a couple of times before, and it's not only really painful but it also severely affects your vision. I ended up having to stop umpteen times to try to wipe my eyes, and was eventually riding with my lens cleaning cloth in my hand and using that to try to wipe them. The problems with my vision and the heavy rain led to the group becoming really fractured, and we all ended up coming back to the car park in smaller groups. At this point we were above Lochs. I didn't think there was much point in trying to film it, but here it is in all its glory in significantly more pleasant weather. We then had a choice to make. Did we head back in the gravel or take the shorter route back? It was a no-brainer. We were all just desperate to get out of the rain. Seeing the Aberfoyle sign on the way back into town was really welcome, and the knowledge that the sanctuary of a towel and some dry clothes was imminent. This is the Rogues Gallery for today, and thanks again lads for turning up with your rain jackets. Hardcore. In the ride by the numbers, we upped the distance this week a little and covered 38 miles with 3,600 feet of climbing. Thanks for watching.